against beGenius. Looking pretty primed here for Katowice in a couple weeks.
Yeah, looking good. They seem to have their double warrior setup on lockdown here when Xaylia has to step into the shoes of that second warrior from time to time. Likewise, man, we see many play that Jaina. I love watching those Ring of Frost.
Yes. Yeah, those have been relatively insane. And again, it comes down to teamwork, right? The Sylvanas willing arrow into the mosh pits, the Ring of Frost. As Lucio's about to drop the beat right now. Loving this music in the background, man. It's getting kind of hype here. As we love this new Lucio music. We'll be seeing him in a couple weeks with the new patch coming up. Let's find out the battleground that we're going to for our next game here. It'll be game number 3. Remember, we are in a best-of-5 series. Bands, Praxis Holdout, Warhead Junction. We have played on Sky Temple and Infernal Shrines. Game 3 will be going to Tomb of the Spider Queen. beGenius will elect to choose the battleground.
It's a hard map to choose against the big 3, but I suppose you got to do it if you got to do it.
Yeah.
It's not the place I would go if I had to play against Team Dignitas by far, but they have to have something.
Well,
maybe we see a Chromie get pulled out. Maybe they kind of have something hidden in the pocket.
And in theory, though, the early game has been solid on both
maps,
I would say. And Tomb of the Spider Queen is a battleground that if you can get an early game advantage, you do have the ability to pinch out your opponents. So maybe that is our thought process here. Let's go ahead and move into our bands. Dig will get the first ban, and Dig will also get the first pick here, as this is the map that beGenius has selected.
All right. Are they thinking about a normal ban like in ETC, or are they thinking something a little bit more wild? Like even Azul on this map is annoying. They're going to ban out Tassadar, so they are wanting their opponents really to respond to their first pick more so than anything, other than, you know, beyond the idea of a Tassadar.
Well, Dig seems to really priority just Malf and EGC no matter what. So this puts it in the court of beGenius to make the decision. Say, okay, you ban what you don't want to play against, and we'll take the other, no problemo. So what will beGenius ban now? They elected to go for Malfurion last time, which I wouldn't mind a Malfurion ban here, because now they have the ability to pick up Rhaegar, and we see a third support on Dignitas.
They could. Let's see. Beyond that, I honestly don't think there's other things that they should be looking at, really, in this first ban slot.
Not for this battleground. I can see a case for Sylvanas, because Dignitas plays it a little bit more than beGenius, and if they pick up Zul, then they could have a wave clear comp, where they push in their opponents, and Dignitas will respond back to it, but I think the automatic selection is to go for Malfurion, and yes, they do ban that out.
Did you know, as much as Malfurion is a Archdruid, there was the potential that Illidan could have been an even more powerful druid than him?
And then he went evil?
Kind of. When Illidan was first born, he actually had a different color eyes. I think he had golden eyes compared to silver eyes that most Night Elves have. And they all thought that that was just a sign of good luck and good fortune. But actually, it meant that he would have become an amazing druid down the line if he'd have kind of followed those teachings.
Wow.
There you go.
And that was from Sonaris, right? If he would have learned from Sonaris,
well,
to go.
Sonarius is actually Malfurion's Shando, hence, you know, Shando's clarity and things like that,
right now.
or whatever. And then it's like, that's why he actually talks about him being his Shando.
Okay, last question before Dignitas
Okay.
goes in. Where did the tattoos come from? That's the real question.
Where did tattoos
The green tattoos that come from Illidan. Where'd those come from?
I think they're
those tiger stripes.
I think they're fell markings of
okay.
fell demon magic.
Ah, gotcha. All right.
I'm not 100% sure on that.
I just wanted to go down the full thing. So Dignitas actually goes into Zul right away.
This is kind of what I wanted as the first ban, technically from Dignitas, but then they opted to go for Tassadar. So it makes me think that they were considering it as a ban, but just decided, actually, no, we kind of want that. So that's cool.
He liked beGenius, so he put a ring on them. Wow.
Whoa. You've just killed the joke meta.
We can't be funny for the rest of the day.
No, I'm
serious
sorry.
casting from now on.
I'll just do lore all day.
No, let's just go full dread. Let's just go full analytical, man. So beGenius to the left here. We'll be picking up their first 2 slots.
Don't make me do a dread. It's like, well, there's kind of like a 23% chance that he's actually going to win this, but then he gets bodied. Like, that's how I normally do dread. But I can't really do the American accent, so it doesn't go well.
I think that was pretty good, though.
Yeah, it's fine.
So now wave clear suddenly becomes a very big threat that beGenius needs to be worrying about. So in the first couple of slots, they need to have wave clear, and Gul'dan and Johanna, great options here to start the defense. Johanna with the wave clear, and then also Gul'dan having insane potential to help handle the bottom lane and the rotation from Zul. beGenius can now set themselves up for a strong foundation. I love the response.
Yeah, that's cool. That is cool. I think it is technically great wave clear. I love it. The only thing now is, have they given up too much to Dignitas? Because Dignitas, while having Zul, yes, they could easily just go into something like an ETC, like a Rehgar themselves, not get choked out in support, and have a great frontliner that they feel very confident with on that aggressive rotation between mid and top. So as much as, yes, you can exert your own flair, they're going to go Jaina instead because, well, we saw many yesterday in the previous game. So yeah, this works too. This works too.
Yeah, they're just kind of helping out with the wave clear because Gul'dan will be able to hold too, but you want to be able to push all 3 lanes. Jaina will be helpful with that too. It's constant pressure. The more you can speed up the game, the harder it is for the opposing team to deal with Zul coming your way, and Jaina will help out with that. And then Rehgar, of course, is support there that Dignitas is not going to let go through on the first rotation if the opposing team doesn't pick it out. beGenius will ban out ETC.
Very important ban.
Yeah, you don't want to run ETC in Johanna.
The only problem is now, though, is that Dignitas can happily just go down the Tyrael path and feel very comfortable as well. So I think a lot of warrior control for against Dignitas is like, what do we just not want to play against compared to do we want to make JPL feel uncomfortable? Because he just won't feel uncomfortable with the current roster of warriors that you can go for. So yeah. Dignitas. Do you go Ariel as a ban?
Yeah, that's what I was thinking because of Gul'dan. There's also the thought of Karazim. We haven't seen Oriel from
Unstable
beGenius yet.
No.
But it is powerful with Gul'dan. It's pretty solid with Johanna too. You can keep her nice and tapped off from a solid range. And she can go harder into the back line because you have the Aegis to save her if things do go haywire.
Headache.
The Morales banned instead.
Cool. Huh. Interesting. See, I don't mind that either. I mean, it does complement Gul'dan actually pretty nicely.
I'm asking Dignitas if they win via the Morales ban and see if they'll give us some info. Maybe it'll be certain strats. Maybe seen something in scrims. I could see a world where you do Gul'dan on the bottom.
I think they realize. So look at Zul, Jaina, and Rehgar. What else? They need a warrior, right? That needs to be just at a front line. And then what else do they have really to dive onto the back line? Not too much. So I think the idea of the Morales ban is that they're anticipating beGenius to have double warrior, and then Gul'dan at the back with double warrior and a medic becomes a god-awful composition to try and get onto a medic and a Gul'dan at the back. So that's probably their reasoning. But again, as you say, you can ask them.
Also, forcing Morales not to be a pickup with Gul'dan makes beGenius think even more about picking up Ariel, which makes Bone Prison that stronger. The cleanse being available that Morales would normally have. So I can see it. Okay. So I think you get Ariel here. Oh, they got Brightwing instead and Ragnaros?
So Gul'dan's going to play a bit more conservatively.
Much more conservative. I would say instead of Q build, you go Egg of Corruption here. Just play in the back. Poke when you get the chance. Very easy to stack onto the Spider Queen, especially with Brightwing being your backline healer. There is no dive yet for Dignitas to actually get towards that backline.
Yeah, it's, yeah. I mean, I'm expecting a Tyrael to come in, and then maybe something else to go with that.
What do you think about a Nubarak?
I think...
From Dig instead.
I think Tyrael and Noob would be cool. I think both. I don't think, because I don't think JPL would end up on the Anubarak. I think Azalea would end up on the Anubarak. So we'll see.
Because then you force beGenius to maybe go for a triple back line to get an auto attacker. And if you can get past Johanna with a Jaina Ring of Frost and a dive from a Nubarak, you can just eliminate that team every single time.
Between those two warriors as well, they provide enough constant damage alongside Jaina and Zul to really make it work. The Zebo Muradin though. All right, so...
Wave clear is the name of the game for Dig.
Yeah, that's certainly true. It's funny how Nazebo Zul has just become this popular machine that actually is a thing. It's cool.
So this draft is completely out of left field for both teams, especially Dignitas in particular. We haven't seen this much variety from them in terms of wave clear yet here in the HGC, so obviously working on other strategies. Great to see here. While beGenius on their side, they have the Ragnaros, they have Gul'dan. They do have defensive capabilities. I'm just more fearful for their aggressive abilities.
I think the Muradin choice that Dignitas has gone with here is kind of cool, considering that I theorized Tyrael, but they kind of answered it for me in saying that they think Tyrael is just too flimsy against the damage that is going to come out from beGenius.
That's why we were thinking double warrior, because I didn't want Tyrael solo into this. And Muradin kind of is the best of both worlds. You get a Storm Bolt, you have dive potential available, and you have survivability, so you can focus on just pure wave clear.
What's the final pick? beGenius. We haven't really talked too much on it, but we'll just find out now. Greymane, really a naked Greymane, to be honest,
Yeah.
with only Brightwing heals there to sustain him, unless they go for the phase shift build and give him a big shield before he goes in. This is going to have to be a very safe Greymane play.
Yeah.
You're concerned, aren't you?
I am concerned. I feel like Dignitas has complete control of the early game. They have insane push. They're going to be pushing in towers. By the time we even get to level 10, there's a strong possibility that 2 forts will be dead already for the opposing team if Dignitas gets their turn-ins. There's no way to allow Greymane to go in for a deep dive, and if he does, there's suddenly spiders in his face, toads in his face, Bone Prison possibly hitting him, Jaina with the Cone of Cold, Murden sitting on him as well with attack speed BB reduction. At the same time, Greymane's going to have a really hard time. If you wanted to be safer and be full defensive, I think you pick up Volla here instead. It's fearful. It's pretty scary. It's a different mix-up, and I like what beGenius is thinking, but I just look over at Dignitas, and I see like a 70-30 win scenario.
Yeah, they've got a really strong comp.
Yeah.
And I don't, as much as Murden has fallen off a little bit in HGC as a whole, compared to ETC, Tyrael, Varian, blah, 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 it's still good in the hands of JPL. He can still hold this as a frontline solo against, say, for example, a Johanna. Blessed Shield, I would love to see Blessed Shields for them to try and follow up on things. I actually think that technically beGenius with Johanna can control some of those turning points for a little bit during the early game, but as it progresses, Dignitas will slowly kind of make the map less 50-50 and more 55-45, 60, you know, in a slow manner.
Yeah, beGenius has defensive capabilities out the belly button. They can defend like crazy here. They have their wave clear already. They have Ragnarok set up here too. They have Greymane too. They can also clear wave at the same time. It just feels like more of a layover and wait it out and hope that your opponent's makes a mistake. But can you really come into a best-of-5 series as the underdogs
against Dignitas
and expect Dignitas to make mistakes enough to where they're just going to throw games?
It is difficult.
I don't think you can say yes to that. Let's get ready for game number 3, though. It's going to be Team of the Spider Queen. Can beGenius do it? Let us know, guys, on Twitter. Let's do this.
That's right, bring in the hashtag HGC. I haven't got you a proper hashtag today just yet. I'm sure I'll have one by the end of the day, because it'll be the last one you're getting.
I got one.
What's the
hashtag
one?
We will miss you.
Aww.
Because we will, man. We will.
Aw, you.
To the far left, beGenius will be in the blue. To the far right, it will be Team Dignitas in the red. Wave pushing galore for this team here. Zelia on the Zul, actually.
Nice, nice. That's too serious. I'm going to cry.
Oh, sorry, man. I had to bust it out. Had to drop it once or twice, you know.
Yeah, I guess.
Full Bible thumb.
Yes.
Okay, so let's watch our teams here. I'm going to watch beGenius more than Dignitas, actually, because I feel like the 1 through 10 game is kind of already understood. Dignitas is going to have full control. If Zul doesn't get picked off, it's going to be hard for beGenius to completely hold them from here. We'll always see Snitch in the bottom lane. Cute. Dropping the wall there.
Can he wall it again? I think he can, if it comes off cooldown. So he's gone Perfect Storm, actually, for the Muradin. So not even like a full sustain play. There's the wall again. Ain't no one getting past. Now, one thing that they did there was actually they lowered the wall. Now you're thinking, why even lower the wall? You know, you want your opponent's minions to be as close to you as possible. They didn't want the minions to get to the towers so that any shots were expended. So that they know they can continue this rotation. Anything that goes on in this mid lane or whatever, it's very small, but they wanted the minion wave in exactly the right place to be as close to them as possible, but not get any tower shots done.
beGenius clearing out. Bone Prison comes out. Iron Skin will be able to pop here to make sure the Bone Prison is wasted. Zelia already clearing the middle. Taking some damage here from Gul'dan. Eric, though, on the right side, remember, he doesn't have Iron Skin. Is being poked down to half HP. Solid damage there from JPL and Bakery.
Quite a few fun talents. So not only Perfect Storm, but also Pixie Charm and, of course, Pursuit of Flame. I say of course now because actually in the past couple of days it's only been that for our Gul'dans. They just value the guaranteed wave clear over the potential of corruption and echo corruption down the line, causing some missed hits on those minions because it's not quite as big a an area.
Sure.
It's an interesting trade-off because I do still think Echo Corruption in the team fight is very powerful.
I think especially on this battleground, Echo Corruption is the way to go. You're going to get the poke on Zul no matter what, every time you go for a rotation.
Longer range.
Yeah, it's like you're almost guaranteed to hit it. Oh, but Ragnaros in the bottom left picked up. And this is what Murden does bring into the mix-up too on this battleground. You might see him more often here just because he can jump over that wall and go for that Storm Bolt instead of you're for a fight. If there's even a slight overextension, even under tower range.
Set up for a fight. We like fights. I'm going to keep track as well of how many stacks Muradin has. Currently at 7. I'll keep you updated throughout the game, because obviously Perfect Storm is something that's not a traditionally tracked quest. It goes on infinite times. Again, if you've been in test mode and you just kind of keep stacking it on the dummy, you can one-shot it and find an Easter egg of Murphy.
They're continuing to happen. Iron's getting there. Careful, Stormbolt does come out. Continual poke from our team's tank for the win on the left side. Unstable will be able to phase shift in.
Ooh, that's a difference as well.
Yeah,
Wow.
the builds are very different.
Blood Ritual, not Big Voodoo. So nice from Blood Ritual. Every time an enemy that's poisoned dies, restores 2% of the maximum health from Snitch. So it's kind of the pseudo fealty until death that we see from Leorix. There's a lot of pressure going on towards Arakeen right now. He might end up going down. Mene's still looking for the pursuit. Tries to get him the jump from Bakery. Picks him off. They won't be able to guard the gems, but a good pick off nonetheless.
And Assault engage too, because you have the Blizzard down, so you have an escape route. Bakery able to get aggressive there on the Rhaegar. Oh, he loves to be aggressive.
Oh, he does.
Oh, he does. He wishes he could play carries.
He's got one of the higher damages done of our supports. When you compare him, say, we did a few weeks ago, we compared him to Smexy. And he's going to go in again, pick up the kill on Gul'dan. Great lockdown coming out from Dignitas. 3-0 in terms of the kills so far.
And the push will continue for Dignitas. And this is where beGenius has a really hard time handling the pressure that comes from Dig. You have so many ways to lock down that Gul'dan. Cleanse will have to be, of course, picked up for Brightwing, but still, even then, very difficult to handle. A Stormbolt coming your way, a Bone Prison, a Blizzard, a Zeeble Wall, Rhaegar to a degree with Totem. They all have tools to lock down that mage in the background, so he has to be careful on positioning. And if he oversteps that all, that will be the result.
So Arakeen just going to move on back there, make sure he's keeping himself alive. As Johanna, he is one of the absolute linchpins of their composition. If he goes down as Arakeen, then it's lights out for a lot of their potential fights. So see this unfold once again. He's having a lot of pressure put on down towards here. A lot of the corruption did hit JPL anyway, so Kirova doing pretty good on this cooldown so far. But that's a lot of damage been sustained. You called it completely at the beginning, where they are taking big, heavy losses here before level 10, and it could snowball out of control.
Especially with the rotation here on the bottom. Danatan could get caught out if Baker is able to get down. Yes, Danatan get on the right side. There's a Bone Prison. Yes, he gets caught out, and that means the fort can be poked down. We have Gul'dan rotating again, so he'll be able to start leading here with his Q and helping out with the damage. Tearblock stepping forward. Mane will get hit with it. Dahlia, though, on the right side, continuing with the swipes here on the minions. The fort is so low on health. Blizzard to help out with that as well, and that fort can be picked off at any point. While too many members did come down the bottom, Dignitas pulls on back, resets up, starts continuing with the gem stacking, and they are level 8 to level 7, about to hit level 9.
I was watching the first-person perspective of JPL just then, and looking at how his camera movement was, and he was just keeping an eye on the flank. Nothing else, not really paying attention properly towards how much damage the fort's taking. As a warrior, you don't really need to do that. As long as you're with a coordinated team that knows that they're putting out damage towards the fort, just keep an eye on that flank, make sure that you're not going to have anyone rotating around, and even if you do, you Stormbolt and door toss away. Nicely done. So, very coordinated coming out.
Yep, it's a sign of trust between teammates.
Yeah.
Understanding what they need to get done, trusting them to get it done, and understanding what your role is in that scenario. Just watch the 9.5 here for Dignitas. They are very close to level 10. They have slowed down their aggression slightly here, as hitting that power spike would be much more beneficial than possibly getting picked off. beGenius is taking the opportunity to try and sneak in some turn-ins here as they have 49 gems available, but Kirva on the back left getting looked at already. Arakeen going for the engagements again. Mane is taking some damage. Tank for the win on Greymane does chunk here as well, but the Bone Prison coming out, Dignitas will be able to escape.
It's a nice attempt, but not enough. There's a lot of finesse that's going to have to go into Tank FTW's Greymane play, because again, he is playing this without shields. There was no phase shift build for him to actually have even just a small shield to go into those engagements. So he's going to have to play it very, very carefully. Gargantuan, Ring of Frost, Ancestral Heal, Skeletal Mages, and Avatar will be the choices for Team Dignitas.
Mane grabbing that Ring of Frost, see if he can get a 5-man Ring of Frost today. Especially with the multiple dives here. Greymane, Ragnaros, Johanna, lots of affiliates being available. He could do it. Aggressive play here from Dignitas in the bottom left, looking for that rotation. 2 to 4 on the bottom. That's their next pickup. Possibly diving on Danatan, but Danatan catching wind of it because of the corruption coming out from Gul'dan. Boop on the fort as it will be destroyed here. Middle wave continues to be pushed in. beGenius does survive relatively well though as they get to 10 here. They now have their heroics can help out in fights. Watch for that Horrify. Kirboa has to hit a nasty Horrify here to get still engaged.
This Web Weaver is descending at such an awful place here for beGenius, as it goes down right in front of their fort here. They've got to be very careful about this. As much as they have their level 10s available, Horrify, Sulfura Smash, here comes Ragnaros though, going in for the Molten Swing. Doesn't catch anybody. JPL jumps out with the Dwarf Toss quite quickly, and they're just going to reavert their attention.
And the reason why JPL was able to drop out is look at Bakery instantly caught that Blessed Shield. He cleansed it, JPL was able to jump away, so no Molten Swing came down, and suddenly that Ragnaros using the middle lane has been used. Fort gets picked up on the top, Dignitas with the proper rotations and a solid, crisp timings there of cleanse.
Really nice stuff. Really good stuff so far from Team Dignitas. Cleaning up the waves, getting it pushing. And I wonder how many gems they have available to them across the board. Not enough for another turn in just yet.
I think they're under 30 here. Fort focus down. All 3 forts down for Dignitas. beGenius looking for something here. No Blessed Shield for 10 seconds. Now, beGenius does have a turn-in. It's just a matter of being able to sneak it at some point. The problem is they have all these waves constantly pushing into them that they have to clear, which means Dignitas has all eyes on their opponents. If they are ever missing 1 to 2 people, they just rotate to the turn-in points and catch them.
So in terms of quests, Widowmaker is completed for Nazebo. Sulfurous Hungers is completed. Pursuit of Flame is completed. Regeneration Master for Johanna, about 3/4 completed so far. Meanwhile, oh dear me.
Big Ring of Frost, though, once again, 3 connecting Rhaegar down, but big 1 trade here. Zelly on the top left, chasing Arakeen. That's 28 gems. Another pickoff, 2 members down, 3 now down. This seems to be the new strategy for Dignitas. Hey, Bakery, go die, so we can get massive kills. Zelia coming in for a Bone Prison, and that is 4 members. Wiped again here for beGenius. Kirboa looking for an escape. He'll use his trusty steed to get away. And his Hearthstone, but Dignitas very happy with that fight.
Mene and Snitch wanted to look for him, but they know that there's still a potential that Gul'dan can dish out some big damage, so Snitch didn't want to go alone, and they didn't want to spend so much time looking for him down there. He could have bought a lot of time. So Dignitas just reprioritizes, says, we want to get the waves still clearing, not bother about the Gul'dan. We've already got enough of that trade.
And another note on that kill. beGenius loses nearly 70 gems, Kalaris. That physically pains me.
I know.
As that's not a turn-in available for them. That hurts their comeback potential. Dignitas now dropping off their 50 gems for now, continuing with their rotations. Can work on mercenary camps and keep full control of the battleground.
Difficult times for beGenius as Team Dignitas just, they show why they are one of the big 3. They have absolute mastery over this map. It's a risky place to take them. As JPL still stacking up 20 stacks of Perfect Storm so far. Not quite as high, actually, as I was expecting. He can get more, but, you know, it's done enough. It's not like he needs to be stacking that up. It's going to be a boss take. And again, normally we just see the opposing team actually grabbing themselves the web weaves during that time, but they lost all their gems.
Lost all their gems, 3 people on the boss, 2 to scout out where the opposing team is. beGenius had 4 members grouped up in the right wing and the bottom, setting up for those giants to take away. And Dignitas happily takes the boss. JPL goes into the engage. Stormbolt comes out. Bakery's on the right side, continuing the field. They're moving towards 16. All members stacked up in the top to defend against this boss, which should allow Dignitas to set up for a turn-in. The Molten Core will be used, but Dignitas just walks away. Once again, Molten Core wasted.
Yeah, and that Molten Core, I think, comes at a bad time. As much as they try and like force out this fight, yet they want to try and make sure that they corner them off to clean up the boss. But there's going to be another Web Weaver turn in just a moment. And from that point on, do you have your Molten Core? No, so they're damned if they do and they're damned if they don't. It's a very, very unfortunate position for beGenius and a tense one to be in.
I think you have to make a power play. You're at a point now where you're just in trouble. Just go for an all-in aggressive play. Oh, and they're doing it, actually. They're going in. Blessed Shield comes out. Sulfura Smash. Horrify all on Nazebo. There's a spice we needed from beGenius to get 1 takedown. Now, they did have to use 4 heroics to get it done, but nonetheless, still a takedown. And now they can clear the web weave.
Yeah, it takes a lot of wind out of Team Dignitas' sails. They can't really exert themselves too much with this. Likewise, you know, if an Nazebo is available with the web weavers and they find a position in front of one of those keeps, then Gargantuan is actually such a nuisance. It really does a lot of damage there. So,
and it's a bodyguard. You can't go for the full engage.
Yeah.
In the way. Never mind the damage, just the pure presence of it. It's hard to get around.
The one scary thing for any backliner now for beGenius, or anybody really in general, is that Heavy Impact has been chosen for Muradin with JPL, so it will be stun into guaranteed stun. Very rarely do you actually miss that Stormbolt unless you're jumping into a pack of minions with that after that Heavy Impact. So Cleanse going to be needed to be used for that, I feel. Anything else is a bit odd.
Heavy Impact. Going to be helpful against the Drain Life too for Gul'dan. It's going to be really hard for Gul'dan to get that off with the Stormbolt being around and the Heavy Impact. So solid pickup here for Dignitas, 17 to 15.
Unless, of course, it is the Bone Prison that goes down for that required cleanse. But people always just kind of move away to safety when the Bone Prison goes down, right?
Yeah. Hopefully, the only person that should be in range of Bone Prison is Eric's on that Johanna, and he can do that himself with the Iron Skin, just getting rid of it. Mercenaries are grabbing the bottom left. It's actually a solid spot for beGenius to fight if Fortify goes off, but Dignitas does have the tool of Ring of Frost, and with it being a talent disadvantage for them, beGenius just sacrifices it and gives it away.
Yeah.
There's that Gargantuan being quite the bodyguard.
Just still not 16. Just still not 16. Very difficult here for beGenius to keep going with this. Thankfully, they have a lot of poke. They have Gilnane Cocktail. They have that Living Meteor, which admittedly isn't buffed up with talent, but it's still a nuisance. And likewise, Kirva just fell flaming away. And now he's got 16. He can be quite the menace, as we do have coming in, who will be Alpha Killer. So technically, Greymane has a bit more blow-up potential behind that Worgen.
Yeah.
He needs it, because he can't be in for too long.
One of my favorite talent picks against Muradin, trying to shred him, especially when he uses the Avatar state. It allows you to be somewhat of a nuisance.
Yeah, yeah.
Here we go. JPL jumping in. There's a Heavy Impact. Iron Skin's popped. Ring of Frost comes out. Does connect with Ragnaros. He's being focused down. Resilient Flame, though, coming in. Ancestor healing. Perfect there for Bakery. Nene on the left side here. Poking with Stormbolts. Unfortunately, not quite landing them here. As do those Kona Cold comes out. Kirwa rooted down. Snitch moving forward. There's the engage. Bakery at the same time with the fight. JPL on the left side catching the flank. Goes for the Heavy Impact. Unstable in trouble. Gargantuan out. Brightwing should be able to retreat, but 3 down for beGenius. Eric does tap the well and will survive.
I mean, Bakery made the plays happen there. That was Earthgrasp Totem getting massive value on a slightly overextended Greymane with tank FQW. So instantly grabs them with that Colossal Totem, with that little bit extra reach, and then JPL follows up. Great stuff on towards that Greymane kill, which again, just kind of barreled things out of control. It's a keep for that. beGenius now is clutching at life.
They are certainly clutching here as they have a catapult push in the top, catapult push in the middle. They have one keep exposed down here on the bottom left. A level 20 is about to hit for Dignitas. It just keeps stacking up here for beGenius. The next thing that they can do here is try to get to level 20, and Horrify with Haunt gives them a chance to win a team fight if they hit multiple members, especially with Greymane being here. Greymane is getting a late game. He does get scary there. His burst potential is pretty solid. He has Great Coat 2 at level 20, depending on the talent that he picks up. The problem is Nazebo is about to hit 22 as well. So all the poke here for Dignitas is coming together. beGenius trying to force a fight, but Dignitas just not biting.
There's not many answers here for beGenius. Looking at Brightwing's build, it's actually a very old school build of Bouncy Dust and Shield Dust. So technically, you can soak up a lot of the damage from, say, a Jaina quite rapidly with that if the lockdown is to come. But they would have loved a fight before 20. That can't happen now. So they're just trying to get these Web Weavers. If they could get Web Weavers some good damage, then great, but look at the Skeletal Mages just forcing them to actually retreat out here. There's nothing that they can do. Lockdown on Unstable at the moment. He's going to end up falling. That's their healer down. That's a lot of gems been dropped. Sulfura Smash comes out with this Ragnaros on the Molten Core. They don't even care about stepping into the fray here. They get Molten Swung, but they're going to take out everybody anyway. Dignitas steamrolls over beGenius, a full team wipe, and that Trixler is series.
That it is. That is the third win here in the best of 5 for Team Dignitas. Walking away straight to the core, focusing it down here with all 4 members. Dignitas showing that they deserve that slot to go to Katowice as they just dominate their matchup here against beGenius. The core falls slowly but surely down to 0%. GG is going to be the call here. Dignitas, congratulations for this.
Very clean stuff. Very, very good series from them coming out. It's kind of what you expect coming into this series, of course, with Dignitas being one of the 3 powerhouses of Europe. We need to have a Game of Thrones scenario painted for our 3 houses of Europe warring against one another. If someone can Photoshop that, that'd be fantastic. But overall, very, very good showing from them against beGenius, who now falls 0-7. But the road's definitely not over. Again, you take these things as a learning process. You watch Katowice as a learning process. And I think that the role swap that they've gone for here, beGenius, is very intriguing and something that can work down the line.
Yeah, it's been helpful for them to switch it up here. Eric King being on Warriors, all he's got to do is maybe learn a little bit more on positioning.
Yeah.
But nothing too crazy stood out for me on his Warriors that he played out today. So he can definitely still play that role. Danatan did show up as a ranged assassin, which I was not expecting to be so strong already.
I mean, looking at their past results, if we say like they went 1-3 versus Synergy, 1-3 versus playing Ducks, if they'd had a few more weeks in these roles, I think some of those results could be changed.
Yeah.
So that's how much confidence I have in watching their first foray into actually making this role swap, which is very cool to see.
Yeah, and for beGenius too, we talked about it earlier, they've been playing against these teams that are obviously a little bit better than them.
Yeah.
But that is experience. They are naturally bringing their level up because they're facing all these great teams. Of course, the Crucible is in a few weeks, and obviously we're not saying that beGenius will be the ones in that Crucible, but there is a solid chance. They're already in the 8th slot. They have a lot of games that they still have to get through, but take that experience and learn from it and keep moving forward. We are working on getting onto an interview here with Dignitas' very own Bakery, so whenever he is ready to go, we'll go ahead and get the conversation going. Bakery, actually, can you hear me?
I can, yeah.
Bakery! Hello. Congratulations, man, on your victory today. First off, how are you guys feeling?
Yeah, we're feeling pretty good. Pretty good series from us. Obviously, the first game, not so great, but got a lot better after that, so we're pretty happy.
I wanted to ask you, on that 2-minute Spider Queen, we saw a Morales ban. We were thinking Ariel on our side. I just wanted to know, is there some kind of weird strategy with Morales that maybe we're missing out on?
So the logic behind that was basically they have to take cleanse against our composition. Like, as soon as we get Zul Jaina, it's super, super scary. They need to be able to cleanse it. And so we thought, if we just ban Morales, the only healer that's good for them in terms of heals is Oriel, but they can't take it because they have no cleanse. And obviously they ended up with Brightwing, and that was a really good thing for us.
Gotcha. Awesome.
Yeah, good choking out overall. So what are your prospects going to Katowice, obviously in just a week's time? Obviously, we keep asking, you know, some of the especially the big 3, what you guys are going to be looking for there. Are you looking for, I mean, obviously you're looking to win, but what do you think your realistic chances are against like Misfits and even obviously North America?
Yeah, so we're going to boot camp before the event.
Okay.
And we're really looking forward to it. We think we're very close to being a truly elite team.
Yes.
And all we need to do is just need a bit more time. We need to sort a few more issues out. And if we do, I think we will very strongly feel like we have a great shot to win in Katowice.
Okay. One last question. Did you intentionally buy the same exercise bike as me? Because I'm seeing it in the background. And you visited my apartment. Was that intentional?
No, that wasn't intentional. That was a happy accident, actually.
Okay. We're just too alike. Sorry.
Well, I have a last question before we let you go. At Katowice, it will be the Lucio patch, and with you being a support god, what are you thinking about Lucio?
Lucio is definitely the best hero they've released in a long time. I'm really, really enjoying him a lot, and I think I'm pretty good at him. So I'm really excited to be able to play him in competitive.
Lucio confirmed. I can't wait to see Bakery drop it in there and drop in the boops. Before we let you go, man, you have the floor for shoutouts.
So shoutouts to Team Dignitas and, of course, my team. They're both amazing. If you want to follow me, you can check me out on Twitter, at Bakery Heroes, and, of course, on heroeshealth.com.
Awesome. Congratulations to Bakery and the rest of Dignitas as they secure a victory today against beGenius. It's always good to talk to Bakery, man. I'm excited to see him play some Lucio in the next couple of weeks.
One of my Brit boys. Very happy to see them, you know, having success, continued success as well. It seems like Xaylia at this point, he's meshed.
Yeah.
I don't think there's any question about that. They seem to be on the same page. Everybody is doing very well. And, yeah, excited for the prospects at Katowice.
Yeah, I can't wait to watch this team continue to grow and grow and grow. Because already in, the first couple months, this team is just already a powerhouse here in the top 3. And finally, it looks like they have their 5, right? They're officially the guys that are going to be together. So, the next couple weeks, of course, Katowice. will be the main event for us here at the HGC. We're all going to Poland, and there will be some wonderful stuff there. March 3rd through March 5th. Make sure to catch the HGC action. We're going to have North America, of course, EU, LATAM, and ANZ. But before we go in there, some stats for you guys to look at. The top KDAs here in the HGCs. Snitch is currently at the very tippy top with a 10.8. Michael Udall himself down at 10.5. June, wow! Support at 9.7.
Yeah, and Smexy. Smexy doing well as well. That's an interesting look at the KDA, because overall, I think we've known for a little while that Snitch has actually been on the top and performing out of his mind in 2017 so far. But what's great about that is most of those teams are at Katowice. So we will see shake-up here in who is going to be dominant in that KDA moving forwards.
Yeah, and the only one not there is K1 Pro from Team B-Step.
Yep.
It's actually very interesting, because normally when your team's not winning, you don't normally get up to those KDAs, but somehow, some way, he's still solidifying him in the top 5.
He's one of the best players in North America. When I watch North America, I feel K1 Pro, he stood the test of time throughout years and years, and it's nice to see those kinds of numbers. Admittedly, you're a damage dealer. Once you're losing the fight, you just run away. But still, he's very good.
Got a bit of a theory there. We saw Abathur from Michael Udall yesterday. Did he
Yes.
play Abathur so he wouldn't die anymore to keep up that KDA? Is he padding stats over there in North America? That'll have to change as we get ready for Katowice. So all the teams that will be competing. We have, of course, Simple Storm. We have Team 8 and Gale Force for North America over in EU. We have Dignitas. We have Misfits and our wonderful Fnatic. LATAM as well, and ANZ are going to be showing up there as well. Just all these teams clashing.
No, indeed. The fact that I'm happy to see Infamous finally get their day from Latin America. They always felt a burning rage on Big Gods throughout the entirety of 2016. I think even at the end of 2015, I can't quite recall. But the entire 2016, they weren't there. Now they've incorporated 2 of the members from Big Gods, or at least one of their members, and a substitute previously for them in Surprise and also Jay Shrite. So they could have some success. It's always difficult for the smaller regions to actually compete against the bigger ones.
Yeah.
But we've seen it happen before. We've seen Taiwan come along in the past at World Championships and have some success. So I'm hopeful for Latin America.
Yep, and LATAM's been decided. As mentioned, Infamous will be there. ANZ, we'll figure out this weekend, so we'll be able to have our final team for who's going to Poland, and then we, of course, get to theorize and craft for the next couple of weeks and figure out who can walk away with it. From all the statements so far, EU's been very loud about they're looking to go for the win here. North America seems to be the ones that will definitely have to show up, as they are the underdogs.
My analysis of that is that when we've seen, because I've been at every single World Championship that we've had in recent times, is that when North American teams have had success against European teams in recent memory, it's when they've injected chaos into the games.
Sure.
Where North America has kind of brought the European teams that feel, you mentioned it yesterday, they kind of feel like a symphony. Like when you watch it, it's very calculated, very conforming to a normal standard. When America then just causes utter chaos on the map, and Europe's not necessarily completely used to that, that's when America can have success against Europe. So that's what I would love to see them bring against Europe if they want to have success in Katowice.
Yeah, I think I agree with you. North America has to bring that chaos. That's what North America does so well. They love to play high-risk, high-reward plays.
Yes.
Jump into fights no matter what. And you need to create scenarios that they're jumping in and have EU say, why are they doing this? Because then that's when they start to fall apart. So for me, I think I'm looking for both Gale Force Esports to do well, and I'm also looking at Fnatic, I think, probably. Misfits too. But for you, who do you think